Fantastic, fantastic. How's everybody doing? Good. Very first thing we're going to do, as always, we're going to give thanks to our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Are there reporters in this room somewhere? I can't see through the light. It's the mainstream media here. If you're here, I want you to hear this. Hear me. I don't care what you say about me. I don't care what you do in your newsroom. I don't care about your plans and your schemes to bring this nation down with your Democratic friends. Why? Because Jesus Christ is still on the throne. You may have your news cameras and your satellites and your 24-hour news, but Jesus Christ holds the world in his hands. And he holds me in it as well. And what he has for me, you cannot keep from coming true. It may not be the governor's mansion. It may not be any political seat, but you will not stop Jesus Christ's will in my life. So I do not fear you. Write your stories, tell your lies, tell your half-truths. But Christ is still on the throne. And because he lives in my heart and I live for him, I know whatever I need to do on this earth for him, it will get done. So we give him thanks first and foremost.
This is the kind of man that Donald Trump needs to surround himself with. We don't need any more of these limp-wristed rhinos in the White House. If you don't know who Mark Robinson is, prepare to be enlightened. Robinson won't be going to the White House anytime soon. He's currently the Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina, and he looks like he may indeed be the next governor of North Carolina. In the most recent polling, he's up by 4 points. And of course, the media absolutely hates this guy because he's a strong Christian man and he's full on MAGA. And because he's MAGA, the libnuts must come after him constantly. Check out this piece on USA Today. The headline says all you need to know. North Carolina is on the verge of getting a MAGA governor, as if that's supposed to be something bad. Why do we let this happen? Well, I can answer that. It's a question because people are allowed to vote, and they want to vote for people that they feel best represents what they are. So that's the answer to your question in case for somehow you got a job at USA Today and didn't understand that. I've highlighted a few paragraphs for us to take a look at in this crazy article as they completely try to go after Mark Robinson, as they do with just about every Christian man who's also a MAGA advocate. Starting right off in her subtitle, it's not surprising that MAGA politicians get by on scare tactics and little substance. But I have to believe it will soon end and North Carolina will help that along. Good luck. She says down here, there's a type of person who thrives off of angering people online. They are commonly referred to as a troll. Someone who likes being provocative to get a rise out of netizens who come across the post. Donald Trump proved in 2016 that being a troll can win you an election, and now is proving it can get you a second presidential nomination. Oh, that's all Trump is. He's just a troll. He doesn't have any substance whatsoever, says the nutbag writing this article. In North Carolina, my home state, which she says here, there are two trolls on the ballot this year. Trump, whom you've heard of, and another who hopes to one day be just as famous. So she's still calling Trump a troll. Good job, honey. With Robinson, North Carolina has created another MAGA politician whose words never seem to hurt their chances of winning an election. It doesn't even cross her mind that he's speaking to a voting bloc that wants to hear what he has to say. She just considers him a troll. Further in the article, she says that Robinson has become something of a right-wing celebrity. He has spoken at the National Rifle Association's convention and a conservative political action conference. And he's also been on Fox News repeatedly. Oh my God. He has more than 175,000 followers on Facebook, 115,000 on Twitter, and recently New York Magazine went so far as to refer to him in a headline as MAGA's Great Black Hope. What is wrong with these people? She further went on to say, in a way, Robinson's rise to power mirrors Trump's. Like Trump and other MAGA Republicans, like they think it's a bad word, Robinson thrives in the culture war. It extends past his online persona, despite what little power he has as a lieutenant governor. I could go on and on with this article, but you get the point. If you're a strong Christian man, and a MAGA advocate, you deserve to be trashed. That's all these writers do. That's all they know. They never seem to understand how the electorate, the people in her state, are actually looking for this type of man to lead them. I don't understand it. Not going to worry about it, because Mark Robinson, he ain't worried about it. You see, Mark Robinson makes it very clear in his speech, he doesn't care what the media think. He's a man with a defined purpose. We're going to watch his speech at the Faith and Freedom Coalition Conference this past weekend, and I guarantee you, you are going to be impressed with Mark Robinson, and you will know by watching him that this is the type of man that Donald Trump needs to surround himself with in the White House. It's too bad this guy's running for governor, because I could see him in the cabinet. Let's check this out.
Fantastic, fantastic. How's everybody doing? Good. Very first thing we're going to do, as always, we're going to give thanks to our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Are there reporters in this room somewhere? I can't see through the light. It's the mainstream media here. If you're here, I want you to hear this. Hear me. I don't care what you say about me. I don't care what you do in your newsroom. I don't care about your plans and your schemes to bring this nation down with your Democratic friends. Why? Because Jesus Christ is still on the throne. You may have your news cameras and your satellites and your 24-hour news, but Jesus Christ holds the world in his hands. And he holds me in it as well. And what he has for me, you cannot keep from coming true. It may not be the governor's mansion. It may not be any political seat, but you will not stop Jesus Christ's will in my life. So I do not fear you. Write your stories, tell your lies, tell your half-truths. But Christ is still on the throne. And because he lives in my heart and I live for him, I know whatever I need to do on this earth for him, it will get done. So we give him thanks first and foremost. All these other guys that come out here and talk to you about the issues, we know the issues. The wide open border, crime on the street, fentanyl killing our children, pornography in our schools. We know about the issues. The failing economy, the precarious place the United States finds itself in on the world stage with its enemies. The horrible, absolutely dreadful administration that is currently leading our nation right now. It is mind-numbing to think that the most energetic, the greatest nation on earth, people seek to come to for that vaunted thing that we have, the freedom and energy and intelligence that we have in this country. And all 350 million people are being led by somebody who just barely knows that they're here on earth. We know what the issues are, but I didn't really come here to go into details about the issues. What I really came here to do, I came here to get something started.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
See, because we got a problem in this country. We got a bunch of clapper-trap people that sit behind news media desks and want to talk about fake trials for President Trump. Turn the television on, they're talking about first one actor and then another actor, talking about all manners of foolishness. Talking about MAGA Republicans being the most dangerous people on earth.
Yep.
I don't know. I didn't see any MAGA Republicans on 9/11 blowing up buildings and airplanes.
No, you didn't.
I don't think any MAGA Republicans were over in Israel murdering people.
Nope, not a one.
And I don't think a MAGA Republican gave them the money to be able to do it.
Nope, didn't happen.
See, we got folks in this country that don't want to talk about the substantive issues that all of us face. Things that we just talked about, that wide open border, curious place we find ourselves with safety and security in the world, on the world stage. They don't want to talk about your pocketbook. They don't want to talk about the fact that your children are in schools where we spend millions upon millions upon millions of dollars for those schools, and the children can't read on the grade level. Nope. They don't want to talk about that.
Bad teachers.
They don't want to talk about the fact that every single solitary policy that they propose and then pass yields horrible results. They don't want to talk about it because it proves an essential truth. It proves an essential truth. What is that truth? The simple truth of the matter is this. They call us the right. We sit on the right. And we not only get called the right and call ourselves the right, and sit on the right, we are right.
Oh, yeah. That's it. That's it. We are right.
We are right about every single solitary issue. When we say, shut that border down and deport those who are dangerous to our country, we are right.
Absolutely right.
When we say children should not be sexualized, we are right.
100%.
This nation knows it. When we say that it's your money, you earned it, you worked for it, the government should not be picking your pocket, we are right.
Bring it, brother. Absolutely.
See, we are right. Too many of us are ashamed to be right, though. Some of us, we go to work and folks start talking about politics and start standing up saying, I think Joe Biden's doing a wonderful job. And he's a nice man because that President Trump is just mean. I just don't like the things that he says. He's just mean and arrogant, and he's a bully. If I hear that one more time, I am going to go crazy. This man is fighting. Let's list the people he's fighting. He's fighting almost the entire news media.
Yep.
He's fighting all the Democrats.
Yep.
He's fighting all the communists. He's fighting all the socialists. He's fighting all of our enemies across the ocean. And sadly, he's fighting half the Republicans.
Yo, that's a big one.
How is this man a bully? How is he a bully? You see, we hear that at work sometimes, some of us, and we're a little shy about stepping up, standing up, saying anything. People look at us and say, why are you a Republican? We say, well, you know, my mom voted Republican. I like Ronald Reagan. I think he did a great job, and I like Reagan. And so that's why I'm a Republican. We shy away from the truth. We don't want to look at that person and say, you know, well, wasn't it the Republican Party that was formed? Stand up for the Republic,
People
not the democracy like you see displayed on the news every day.
They don't want to remind people that we're a republic.
See, them folks want a democracy. They want the mob to rule. Mm-hmm. They don't want this republic. And they don't want Republicans standing up for the republic. You're going to tell them that, yeah, wasn't it? Well, they say, well, the Republican Party is the party of old white men.
Oh, tell them, Mark. Tell them. It ain't rubbing off.
It ain't coming off. And while we're on that subject, wasn't it the Republican Party that fought a war to free the slaves?
Yeah.
How many Jim Crow laws were passed by Republicans?
Not a one.
Wasn't it the Republicans who ended Jim Crow? Then you can take it even further and say, so you're a Democrat. Why are you a Democrat? You know the Democrats were the ones that were in favor of slavery. They were the ones in favor of the Confederacy. They were the ones that created Jim Crow. They are the ones that made the laws. And they are the ones that fought like hell to keep them until they found out a different way to enslave people. Instead of giving them welfare, instead of giving them slave shacks and shackles, they decided they were going to give them welfare checks and the ghetto.
Bingo. Plantation.
You see, there are truths that nobody wants to talk about. Not the news media, not the college professors. I'm getting excited up here, guys. Not the college professors. Nobody wants the front row. Y'all better watch out, bro. Woo! Spitting fire up here today. Y'all better watch out. Nobody wants to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it. And you should too.
Yes.
You should run and go tell the good news of why you're a Republican. Mm-hmm. You can take it all the way back to 1860 and bring it all the way up right now to 2020. You look at the states that are run by Republicans. Look at what Sarah Huckabee Sanders is doing in Arkansas. Mm-hmm. Look at what Glenn Youngkin is doing in Virginia. Look at what Ron DeSantis is doing in Florida. And Greg Abbott is doing in Texas.
Oh, yeah. Florida, baby.
Look at what the Republican legislature in North Carolina is doing and has done since 2010. And while we're on that subject, think about what North Carolina will do when Mark Robinson is the Republican governor.
I love this guy.
You see, there's a truth that's got to be told. Unfortunately, no one will tell it if you don't. No one will be bold enough to tell it if you're not. I speak about this all the time, and when I do, I try to do it without shedding tears, but it's hard for me to do it. Tell my wife I have two great dreams. One great dream exists on this side of the earth. The other dream exists on the other side. Dream on the other side, very dear to me. People think that I don't hate people. I hate actions. I hate actions that take advantage of people, destroy people's lives, and destroy and wreck nations. I hate the actions. I don't hate the people. One of my greatest dreams as a Christian is this, and I take it to heart, and when I say it, I mean it. You know, they tell me that when I die, if I do what God says on earth, that he has reserved a mansion for me, many rooms. Think about that room that he may reserved for me. And I think about myself in it. And if that place is like anything like down here on earth, maybe people would come and visit me. You know who I want to come and visit me? Of course, I love to see the heroes of the faith come. My mother, my family, those that I love. But you know who else I want to see? I want to look out my window down in my driveway and see Nancy Pelosi come walking. I'm serious. I want to see Joe Biden come walking up.
But you ain't gonna see him.
I want to look down there and see my opponent, Josh Stein, come walking up. I want to look down there and see everybody who opposed me on earth, who called me an enemy on earth. I want to see them come walking up that driveway. You know why? Because it means they made it. Because they made it. Now, I don't want my opponent to make it to the governor's mansion. But I sure wouldn't mind if he made it to heaven.
They don't understand that concept.
Because I don't hate anybody. Now, I want to see every single solitary person on this earth. I want to see their souls saved.
Bless your enemies. Bless them.
Every single solitary person.
We don't see this in
politics. Each and every one of us that calls ourselves a Christian should pray vehemently for their souls, that we would see them in heaven and forget about all this when we get up there. My second dream is this, and it's down here on earth. One day, years from now you look at them old photographs and you can tell what year they were taken. On an old photograph to me sitting up on somebody's, in a home somewhere, I don't know where it may be. Could be here, some other place. And I want somebody to pull that photograph down and look at it and say, who is this man? And I want one of my grandchildren, great-grandchildren, or great-grandchildren, right here in the United States of America, to take that picture, hold it up over their head and say, this is my grandfather. And I live in freedom today because he was man enough to stand up and give me the same kind of freedom that he grew up in. To me, that would be the single greatest honor on this earth. Now, I sincerely hope that each and every one of you would want to have that honor as well. Now, before I leave you, I want to leave you with this. Who are we as Republicans? Who are we as conservatives? Who are we as patriots? Who are we as MAGA Republicans? I boil it all down to this. Earlier this month, we celebrate what I call America's St. Christmas, June the 6th, 1944. The spirit of MAGA, the spirit of us, the spirit of the American patriot is embodied in those boys, in those boats.
Absolutely.
It lives inside of the hearts of each and every person in this room. It lives inside of the people who go back home and get politically active and are bound and determined to change the circumstances of their cities and their state. It exists in those moms who had the unmitigated gall, according to some, to go down to the school board and demand that their children not be sexualized.
Yes.
It lives in the heart of every patriot who decides to put their name on the dotted line and serve in office. It exists inside of Americans who love this nation.
Absolutely.
The heart of the boys in those boats on that day is literally the epitome of America. When times get tough for us, when you get scared, when you get nervous, when you think you can't win, think about them boys in them boats. Think about them bullets hitting that door. Think about the fact when that door opened, they didn't run to the back. They ran out that door. Bullets be damned, death be damned. I'm here to save my country.
Right.
You think about them, you remember them, and you remember their sacrifice was not in vain because it lives in you, and it lives in me, and it lives in all of us. Let's let that energize us to save this nation one more time. God bless you all, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
And that spirit of 1944 was for all Americans. It wasn't for black Americans. It wasn't for white Americans. It wasn't for Hispanic Americans. It was for Americans. He hit it right on the head right there. Get the spirit of 1944. MAGA is not bad. MAGA is what we all should be striving for. We should all want to be MAGA. That's what these libnuts don't understand. After watching that speech, I think most of you will agree. That is the type of man that we need to see Donald Trump surround himself with. I'm pretty sure he can find them. They're out there. Get rid of the limp-wristed rhinos and go for it. Unabashedly run towards making America great again. Run towards that shore, taking all the bullets he's been taking all the fluff from the media. Forget about it. It doesn't matter. We're behind you 100%. America needs more men like Mark Robinson, a fearless man of God, and a great patriot. Hey, listen, the big debate between Dementia Joe and Trump is scheduled for June 27th, if it happens. And I'll be broadcasting it live, and I want you to join me. If you've watched any of my live broadcasts, you know we have a ton of fun. 300,000 people tuned in to see my live broadcast of the Las Vegas rally, and I gave away a fabulous trip. So be sure to join me for the big debate. It will be undoubtedly a lot of fun, and who knows, you might win something. Just click here to register to be notified as soon as I go live. Thanks, and talk to you soon. Hope to see you at the debate.